Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to reports from Spain, Frenkie Dion has ruled out a move to Manchester United. It did say that Frenkie Dion prefers a move to Manchester United over Chelsea. Not so long ago, it did say that Frenkie Dion's transfer to Man United was held up by a 17 million wage debt. Revert back to the other week, it said Man United had reached a broad agreement with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong over a 56.2 million fee with add-ons included. Frenkie de Jong has been at Barcelona since 2019. He's under contract with Barcelona until 2026. Barcelona got him from Ajax. They paid around £65 million. Frenkie de Jong is a versatile midfielder. Now, I want to give you some more news on Christian Eriksen. So, Christian Eriksen set to undergo Man United medical shortly as part of pre-season tour plan. Revert back to the other week, it said that Christian Eriksen verbally agreed to join Manchester United on a 3-year contract. The second half of last season, Christian Eriksen had a loan spell with Brentford. Brentford got him back in January. When he officially signed for Brentford, he signed a 6-month contract. Before, Eriksen was at Inter Milan. Before he played for Tottenham, he was a long-serving player at Tottenham. And when he was younger, Eriksen, he played for Ajax. Well, that's where he began his career. Revert back to Euro 2020, Christian Eriksen collapsed because he suffered a cardiac arrest. Now I want to give you some more news on Lisandro Martinez. So Ajax want an improved offer for Lisandro Martinez. He says Man United have made an improved offer of 43 million. Lisandro Martinez wants a move to Man United. Arsenal have been heavily linked with him. Martinez is at Ajax. He's a defender. He can also be deployed as a midfielder. He's been at Ajax since 2019, so he's been at Ajax for around 3 years or so. Not so long ago, Man United made their first signing of the summer. Man United signed Tyrell Malaysia from Feyenoord. We got him for around 13 million. Tyrell Malaysia signed a contract until June 2026 as an option to extend for a further year. Tyrell Malaysia was the first signing of the Erik ten Hag era. But yeah, there's a lot of players that Ten Hag wants to recommend to the club. We've seen players leave Manchester United this year. Not so long ago, Dean Henderson went out on loan to Nottingham Forest. We had to let Henderson go because Henderson's Man United's second choice keeper. Last season he only made 3 appearances. Back in 2020, Henderson signed a contract with Man United until 2025. Before Dean Henderson's had loan spells with Sheffield United, he enjoyed 2 successful loans with them. Before then, he had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Earlier on this year, we saw Lee Grant retire. Paul Pogba left Man United on a free transfer. Paul Pogba has made a return to Juventus. Pogba's already enjoyed 1 spell with Juventus. Pogba did enjoy, 5 or 6 years in his second spell at Man United. He played over 200 games, he won 3 trophies. Man United did pay 89 million for Paul Pogba back in 2016. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Matic, he left earlier on this year. Roma signed Matic. Matic is now reuniting with Jose Mourinho. When Matic was at Man United, he was not one of Man United's first choice midfielders, but despite that, he had been given his opportunities. I always had my reservations about Matic. Matic was at Man United for around 5 years. Man United got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. We saw Jesse Lingard leave the club. When Jesse Lingard was at Man United, most of the time he was classified as a squad player because he didn't get in the team that much. He was part of the club for a long time, came up our academy at one point. He enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. He's had quite a few loan spells, Lingard. Juan Mata left this year. Juan Mata, I'll say the same thing as I said regarding Lingard. Most of the time he was classified as a squad player, so he didn't get in the team a great deal. But I thought Juan Mata had a good career at Man United. He was a long-serving player at Man United. He was at Man United for 8 years. Made over 200 appearances in all competitions. Man United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014 in a deal worth 40 million. Edinson Cavani, he left Man United earlier on this year. Cavani did lose his place in the Man United team when Ronaldo re-signed last year. Cavani did enjoy a lot of good games as a United player. On the other side of things, though, he had injuries as well. Man United did get Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. So there you go. And more players are going to be leaving Man United. I think Tom Heaton's on his way out of the club. He will probably leave next year, Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton, what our 3rd choice keeper. Well, should I say 2nd now, with obviously Henderson being out on loan at Forest. Man United got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa last year. Alex Telles, you can say he's on his way out of the club now. We've got the replacement for Telles, and that's Terrell Malaysia. Telles has enjoyed a difficult time at Man United. Revert back to when we had Rangnick, Telles did get some opportunities and he was impressive in some games. Phil Jones, He's on his way out of the club as well. Phil Jones is not one of our first choice centre halves. He's only made like 3 or 4 Premier League appearances since January 2020. At one point, Jones was out of an injury for a while. He's endured 11 years at Manchester United, so he's been a long-serving player. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. Jones's contract expires next year. I initially thought Eric Bailly was going to be leaving, but the last time I read up, it said sources close to the player said that Bailly is not interested in going anywhere. He wants to fight for his place at Manchester United, because it said Fulham wanted Eric Bailly on loan with an option to buy. Eric Bailly is not one of Man United's first choice centre halves. He's a good centre half, but he's just injury prone. That's my element of concern. He's got 2 years remaining on his contract. Man United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016, got him for 30 million, brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Maxel Tuanzebe is on his way out of the club. Last season he was out on loan with Aston Villa. He's endured 3 loan spells at Aston Villa. Harry Maguire, I think he will leave Manchester United next year. I wanted him to leave this year because he's not good enough to represent the club. Said not so long ago Maguire was set for talks with Erik ten Hag over the Man United captaincy. Throughout the course of last season, the vast majority of Man United fans were demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire because Maguire's not a leader. Maguire's endured, 3 years at Man United? He's had his injuries. Man United got Maguire for 80 million, so reflecting on that, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive sign at the club. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's on his way out of the club as well. He could leave this year. I heard that he could be making a return to Crystal Palace. Well, Bissaka was at Crystal Palace before he came to Man United. Bissaka was not our first choice right back under Ralf Rangnick. Diego Dalot was. Most of the time Bissaka's good defensively, but the attacking side of his game is not so good. Bissaka's endured 3 full seasons at Man United. Man United got him in a deal worth £58 million back in the summer of 2019. Diego Dalot, he's on his way out of the club as well. He'll probably leave next year. We'll keep him at the moment as a backup. Dalot had some good games under Rangnick to his credit, but he's not world class, is he? One point, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, and reflecting on that, he gained some experience. We got Dalot from Porto, got him for around 19 million. His contract at Man United expires next year. Andres Pereira's leaving the club, or he's already left the club, should I say. Not so long ago, it said Andres Pereira agreed to join Fulham, as Man United and Fulham agreed a 10 million fee. It did actually say though at the first that Andres Pereira wanted a permanent switch to Flamengo, because last season he was out on loan with Flamengo. At one point he had a loan spell with Lazio. We're looking to sell Martial permanently. Last season he was out on loan with Sevilla. Fred, I think Man United will get rid of him next year. Lindelof, I think he could be leaving next year. You know the news regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. It did say that Cristiano Ronaldo is set to miss Man United's pre-season tour due to family issues. Don't forget Cristiano Ronaldo missed quite a few days of training. Not so long ago, Ronaldo told Man United he wants to leave this summer as he's unhappy over the lack of progress with transfers. And at first Man United did insist that Ronaldo wasn't for sale, but now I'm hearing he is for sale. Man United's asking price for Ronaldo is around 13 million. Not so long ago, Ronaldo was offered to Chelsea. Bayern Munich have been in for him, Roma have been in for him, his former club Sporting Lisbon have been in for him, Barcelona have made inquiries. I think he'll stay this year, Ronaldo, because he'll want to play under Ten Hag. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There is an option to extend for a further year. Ronaldo earns £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last year from Juventus. He's in his second spell at Man United, is Ronaldo. Since he re-signed, he's got 18 goals in the Premier League. He has 24 goals in all competitions. And not so long ago, he won the Goal of the Season award. He got named as the Matt Busby Player of the Year. He's got a very good pedigree as a player, Ronaldo. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. If Marcus Rashford doesn't improve, I think he could be leaving next year. He's staying this year because he's already said he wants to stay, and earlier on this year rejected a move to Tottenham. And Luke Shaw could also leave next year. So there you go. By the way, Man United are on their pre-season tour now. Ten Hag recently had his first interview on pre-season tour. You know, Ten Hag is the Manchester United manager. Earlier on this year, he got officially appointed in as the new Man United manager. He replaced Ralf Rangnick. Ten Hag's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option to extend for a further year. You know, Ten Hag's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren are working alongside Ten Hag. Ten Hag is aware that he's got big expectations to exceed. I've got a lot of faith in Ten Hag because he is a good manager. You've got to admire what he did at Ajax, because at Ajax he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups. Revert back to 2019, got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. Before, Ten Hag managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Don't forget though, this is the first ever time that Ten Hag is managing in the Premier League, and the Premier League's totally contrast to the Dutch League. Let me put into the equation, Ten Hag is inheriting a lot of deadwood. Five managers have left Man United since Ferguson. Them managers are David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho. Last year sat Solskjaer, and earlier on this year Ralf Rangnick left Manchester United. So obviously it did say that Rangnick would not take up the consultancy role at Man United. You know, Rangnick did get appointed in as the new head coach of Austria. Rangnick was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months. He only enjoyed one transfer window as Man United's interim manager, and unfortunately didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. So there you go. Last season, Man United enjoyed their worst ever Premier League season in terms of points. Man United finished on just 58 points. Last season, Man United finished 6th. Man United are in the Europa League for the upcoming season. As things stand, Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. We've only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years or so. Won 3 trophies under Mourinho. That was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield, and the FA Cup under Van Gaal. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. That's almost 10 years ago. Man United have spent over 1.3 billion in the last 10 years, and we've brought over 40 odd players in since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Like I say, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. The Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. We've got to get the Glazers out of Man United. And for a while, the vast majority of Man United fans were protesting against the Glazers. And I did initially say the protesting would persist until the Glazers are out of the club. Not so long ago, they took 11 million out in dividends, did the Glazers. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel if you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very soon.